All right, welcome back to Terrortinos, a show where we celebrate the movies that made us, for better or for worse. This is a podcast hosted by two lifelong friends. My name is Mike, and that guy over there is.
Angel DeLeon.
So this is a podcast where we kind of celebrate cult movies and films that either aged like fine wine, or in this episode, we will probably talk about the ones that kind of spoil like milk, but we're going to defend it. That's a segment that's coming up. But let's go into really quick. Let's go. Well, you know what? Really quick. Let's talk about um some of the. Let's talk about some of the movies that came out recently, and we're going to bring in a really great expert. He's an angry critic, we like to call him, because he gets real dirty. He doesn't play for the cheap seats. He gets right to the dirt. He gets right to the gritty. He tells the truth. Let's bring in our resident film critic, Ray.
Hey, hey everyone.
Ray. Ray, you are a film nerd. Is that okay to say?
I mean, I guess so. Yeah.
And I would say like you probably watch films more in 1 month than most people do in a whole year, right?
Sure. I believe that is true.
I mean, your major pastime is to go to the movies like every weekend and watch the kind of the latest releases.
Yeah, I always try to see like what's new and just really just kind of be part of the conversation because I don't want things to get spoiled. So I always try to see what's new and try to see it as soon as possible.
Well, it being summer,
real quick, I got a question. You'll watch a movie because you hear it's good, but will you also watch it because you hear it's horrible?
I'll usually prefer to watch it if I hear it's horrible.
Okay, just making sure you're our kind of people. Because there's got to be a reason, right? If it's that bad, it's got to be so bad that it's good. Like maybe they're doing it on purpose. It's ridiculous for a reason.
Well, but also with like the reviews these days with critics, it's kind of just like hard to really kind of read what they're really trying to say, because it feels like a lot of times critics are just kind of all kind of agreeing with one another, and reviews are just kind of basic, like the ones you see online these days. So you kind of have to see movies for yourself these days.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of them are reviewing based on other people's reviews. I don't think all of them are even watching them. You know what I mean? They want to be they want to be part of the topic, so they're going off other people's reviews. And if like you held them underwater, they'd be like, "Nah, I never really saw it," and that would totally blow for what they're doing.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, this being the summer, I mean, big movie releases are released in the summer. Superman's a big film that came out just recently. You want to go into that? You want to talk about Superman a little bit?
I mean, I don't have a ton to say about the movie without like really going into it and like going into spoilers and all that. What I will say is that I think it's a pretty bold movie coming from James Gunn, a very bold way to start a universe, because it's so ambitious for like not just for like starting a universe, but just for like just for a movie. Like there's so much going on in this film that to me, like I can only compare it to something like Avengers Endgame or Avengers Infinity War. And that's crazy that you're comparing like the first movie in this new universe to something like, which is very much like the end of another universe. But that's just how many ideas and how much concepts are in this film. And in many ways, it feels like the season 2 premiere of an ongoing series.
But did that kill it, or did it kill like the whole vibe, or did it actually work?
I think it overall does work, but it took me a while to get into it. Like I didn't really start to really get invested in the film until I think like an hour into it, and it's like 2 hours. So, but I think on second viewing, I'm gonna enjoy it more. But I just don't think I could ever really like this movie the way I like the original, like Christopher Reeve's Superman movie. And I'm not like a crazy Man of Steel fan, but I think I would still kind of prefer something like Man of Steel to this, because Man of Steel still feels like a solo standalone movie. It doesn't feel like something that you need to see like 3 seasons of something. And even though this is the first, movie in this new universe, it still does feel like you needed to see like a whole lot of stuff. Like it's so dense, and it just doesn't really feel like a movie in that way. So,
but does it feel like a setup movie? Where they're leaving so much on the table. Okay.
Not necessarily either. I think it feels complete. It's just, it feels like maybe there's like 3 stories. And it feels also like some of the stories, like you're just kind of thrown right in the middle of them, and you don't necessarily see like some of the events that came prior. Like just skipping the origin and all that, just like events going on with the storylines in the film. So, in that regard, like, it is an ambitious movie, and I think it definitely works like for today, with the comic book audience that had seen like all the Marvel movies, but I don't think people would have accepted this movie in the 90s.
Interesting. But is it because audiences now are more accustomed to the world building?
Yeah, absolutely. It's like it's something completely different. Movies, these type of movies aren't what they used to be, for better and worse. And
even if it's so dense, you don't have to like hold the audience's hand all the way through. I mean, you probably most likely get it anyway, even if you don't know. Yeah,
you'll get it, but it's kind of jarring.
Yeah. So it goes directly into this world already fully developed. And
well, there's like there's a little bit of a opening kind of like Star Wars crawl that says like, metahumans or whatever have been here for, I think, 3,000 years or something like that, or I don't remember how long, and it just kind of goes on, and then the movie just begins like in the middle of a battle, basically.
Well, I mean, it is getting a lot of good reviews. You seem to enjoy it enough.
Yeah, but I mean, if I'm being honest, like, I like Thunderbolts a lot more, and I know you and Rich were kind of mixed on that movie, and I kind of like Captain America 4, like about the same, and everyone hates that movie, but to me they were kind of about the same. But
I gotta chime in real quick.
Yeah,
I don't agree with the captain, but I did enjoy Thunderbolts. It was so much better than I thought it was gonna be.
It was
interesting.
Yeah, but it's like my thing where I don't want a whole bunch of shit. I just give me 4 dudes and a little mission. I don't gotta save the world. I don't have to, you know what I mean? It's like that shit's over. It's saturated. It's done and done and done. And the characters were cool. They were realistic. How realistic could a superhero be? But you know what I mean? It was more realistic. They had more build. There were more people than superhero. That's what I like.
Well, David Harbour is one of my favorite actors, and so whenever he's on screen, I love it. I wasn't just, I mean, I think maybe I'm just kind of over the Marvel thing, and so I wasn't bowled over by the movie. I haven't seen Captain America, but and I haven't seen Iron Heart. I mean, I'm really kind of done with the whole the whole stuff. So. Thunderbolts, because I heard good things about it. That's the reason why I checked it out. But so far, I mean, what's your feelings about Fantastic Four? Is that something that's on your radar? Is that something you're anticipating?
I have my tickets to see it on opening night, but I'm expecting it to be a similar experience to Superman. Because I think it's also gonna be maybe not like maybe feel like you're just like thrown in the middle of a movie, but I do think it's gonna probably feel like it's like 2 movies squeezed into one, because we already know that there's gonna be like this time jump, and in the trailers we're starting to see like the Thing with a beard, and it's like, whoa, what happens in this movie?
What's your feelings of the state of comic book movies right now?
It's not great, but I think that's just how it's going to be when you've had, this many years of like consistent comic book movies. I mean, we need a bit more movies that aren't, I guess Marvel and DC can still do these movies, but we need more like movies like the Batman and Joker and stuff that kind of do something out of the box. And also even though it's not going to, break the box office, we need more movies like the Toxic Avenger reboot coming out.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to see. I mean, if that catches with
Spawn
audiences.
movie ever happens, right? If the Spawn movie ever gets off the ground, we need more stuff like that, and we need it to feel less familiar.
speaking of the summer, give us your opinions on what was the kind of the best movies so far of the summer.
Like a blockbuster type of movie?
Yeah, I mean of the last couple of weeks in theaters.
Well, I loved F1, and I gotta say, like when the teaser first came out for that movie, they released I think a quick 30-second or 1 minute teaser.
Yeah,
got me super excited for the movie. Then they released like the full length trailer, which got me a little less excited because it felt like it was gonna be like a very tropey movie, and it is a very tropey movie. But that said, I think they still kind of handled it in a way where it still felt fresh. And I mean, we've had a lot of pretty good racing movies over the past, I think, decade. One that comes to mind is Rush, the Chris Hemsworth movie. That was great. And I think F1 was like better. I would actually say F1 is kind of right behind Brad Pitt's last sports movie, Moneyball, which was a home run. That movie was excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so give us your kind of it's the middle of 2025. What is some of the best movies so far in your opinion, like the best top 5?
Wait, real quick on that F1.
Go ahead.
If you actually liked F1 a lot, I don't know if you're into or if you've seen it documentaries. Senna?
Which one? No, I haven't seen it.
Oh, it's beautiful. All people in the world that turned me on to that was
what year?
Like 93, I think, or something. But it's a real life story of the guy that got all the extra safety measures put in.
Mm-hmm.
He came right out of like a stock car, straight into or go-karts. I didn't know go-karts was such a big thing, dude. But they race go-karts, big money, all the way till they're 18, then they jump in Formula 1 cars. But what's that guy's name that used to be with Dr. Drew on the show? Adam Carolla.
Adam Carolla, yes.
He had talked about it, and I watched it.
And I think he also produced a documentary as well, a racing documentary. Probably a different one.
Yeah, if it's Formula 1, you got to watch that. It is such a good. I mean, at the end of it, you're going to be like, "Holy shit! I didn't know." You just thought it was like a bunch of rich people that raced. This was great. It was a great. But F1 did look really good, man. I mean, I didn't think much of it until I started seeing more and more of it everywhere, and it looks entertaining.
Well, I mean, I think it should be on digital by now, right?
So it should be coming out pretty soon. But
to me, like 2 weeks in the theater.
But to me, it seems like F1 might be the big winner of the summer, even though you got big movies like Jurassic Park or Fantastic Four coming up and Superman. F1 might be secretly the one that everyone agrees on.
Well, F1, who knows? Maybe it might get like an Oscar nomination or something.
Yeah.
And if it does, then it ends up being the real big winner of the year.
Yeah. Well, give us your list of like the best movies so far of 2025. Raymond.
Megan 2.
I haven't seen Megan 2, but I actually really want to see it.
Okay, Megan 1. Your brother I did not like it. Mike thought it was cool or whatever. Hated it. Megan 2 was awesome. I saw it yesterday. I wanted to hate it. Nothing like the first one. It's a lot of tropes. It's a lot of throwbacks to shitty storylines, but it knows it's shitty. But it's so good. Yeah.
I think if you watch, I haven't seen Megan 2.0, whatever, yet. It just came out on VOD. But and from the trailer, I could surmise that it's kind of doing a Terminator 2 type of, spoof thing.
Yeah, and I had no idea that that's what it was going to be like. I thought it was her again trying to raise havoc,
but if you see the original Megan, this is why I liked it so much. It is very comedic. It's very dark. Now, people seem to shit on this 2.0, and I think because they didn't think that the first one was all that funny. I thought the first one was hilarious. The fact that this is really kind of leaning into the comedy, it gets me excited. So I definitely I'm gonna watch it. But this is my third attempt to get Raymond's list. I'm sorry we keep on interrupting you.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Raymond. Give us your list of the best films so far of 2025.
My top 5. Well, I think it's definitely going to be a lot different than most top 5s.
Yes.
In fact, some of these movies might be in the bottom of people's lists. But starting off with my number 5 is actually a documentary. Based on two of my comedy heroes that I loved since I was a small child, and I was the Cheech and Chong's last film, was it? I believe that was what's called. Let me check. Cheech and Chong's last movie. No, because I added a movie to.
Go ahead. Keep going. Keep going.
Okay. Yeah. Number 5 is
Kill the producer's mic.
Number 5 is Cheech and Chong's last movie.
Okay.
And I just really ended up loving this documentary because ended up being very informative for me. There are certain things I didn't know about their history and their background, and this explored it in a very entertaining way. I don't know if you're familiar with the documentary I'm about to bring up, but there was a TV series documentary, I think like maybe 5 to 10 years ago. It was created by Mike Judge, and it was like a animated country documentary,
like behind the scenes music stuff, stories like the back tour or something like that.
This took that same approach, but it was all like Cheech and Chong.
Okay.
And for me, that Mike Judge documentary. I don't remember the name of it again, but that was like one of the most entertaining kind of documentaries about like the entertainment business that I had ever seen. It was so much fun. And then to see something like that, take that similar approach, but to some of my comedy heroes, two guys, I've loved, before I even knew what marijuana was. That's their whole gimmick, And I was just completely satisfied with the documentary and ended up cracking my top 5. I don't expect it to be, in my top 10 by the end of the year, but so far it's definitely one of the more satisfying movies I've seen. So that's my
brothers, man.
Now, does it go into like kind of the history of the duel, the comedy duel, the Cheech and Chong? Okay, so it goes into the whole history too.
Childhoods and
wow, really?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I've seen the trailer. I haven't seen the movie yet, the documentary yet, but it looks it's definitely. You think this is their last thing they're ever going to do together, or is it over for them?
I mean, they're pretty old. So I wouldn't be surprised if they maybe do like a final tour at some point and make a big deal out of it. But I think so. Movie wise, I think this is probably it. I mean, they made an animated film like I think 15 or 20 years ago.
Yeah, that's definitely not going to be on a lot of people's list.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people saw it.
All right, what was number 4 for you?
Number 4 was F1.
Okay,
just talked about. So
we just talked about.
Yeah. Number 3 was a movie that I just watched today, and it's a movie that's probably going to be the most divisive film of the year from one of my favorite filmmakers working today. It's the new Ari Aster film, Eddington. Eddington, for people that aren't familiar, is basically Ari Aster's new film takes place during the pandemics during 2020, and it's really kind of a movie that depicts the divide that's currently happening in America and how it all started in a very kind of darkly satirical way. How to really talk about this movie? Well, what I'll say is, based off some of the reviews I saw, before watching the movie, it's not at all what I expected. And in fact, for the first 2/3 of the movie, I was like, oh, I think Ari Aster maybe made his most accessible movie or something like that. In fact, for the first 2/3, I was like, I think Mike's gonna really like this movie. I think this might be the first Ari Aster movie Mike likes. And then the third act happens, and I'm like, oh, this might be, this is gonna be the one that Mike really hates more than any of them. Like the third act goes in some places that it's definitely going to piss people off, and but it wraps together in a way that I personally found so satisfying, and kind of comments on so many things that have been very prominent, and I guess in politics and stuff over the past couple of years, and especially on online politics, and pundits and stuff like that. And yeah, I don't want to give too much away, but I loved it. I think it's a masterpiece. I think 20 years from now, people are going to really like the movie. I think just right now, it came out too soon. You know what I mean? People don't want to see this type of movie right now, especially since like all this stuff is currently happening, and they're taking such a dark comedic approach to it. It's like, come on, man, this is not the time.
And people don't want to relive COVID again. especially in a a movie form, and go to the theaters and kind of do that. I mean, this is what Ari Aster is.
And
He's
also,
kind of a provocateur.
It's also super dark. So even I think 20 years from now, it might still be like a kind of tough movie to watch, but it's extra tough right now.
Is it a extra long movie? Because like his last couple of films were just too long for me.
It's 2.5 hours, but I thought it kind of just went by.
No.
Superman is 2 hours. I thought this felt way shorter.
I love Pedro Pascal and I love Joaquin Phoenix. You know, they're the kind of two main stars in the film.
I'm surprised Pedro Pascal took this role. Yeah, I mean, Joaquin Phoenix. So I mean, like always, he's incredible in the film. Everyone in the film is pretty great. Have some questions about the Austin Butler character and who exactly he might have been based off. Because when I saw the trailers, I was like, oh, he's like Alex Jones or kind of Ben Shapiro, like an amalgamation of.
He's a preacher of some kind, right? Isn't he a preacher?
Not exactly. I mean, he's kind of more of a cult guy, but I don't want to give too much away about what his character really, like what his deal is and his backstory, because I think it kind of builds up to that. But yeah, it's definitely going to be the most divisive movie of the year.
That's your number third.
Yeah, I'm in 3
spot. What's your second one?
My number 2 film of the year is another A24 film. It's I forget the director's name, but it's the new film from the directors of Talk to Me. Bring Her Back. Bring Her Back. Well, Talk to Me. The last film they made is one of my favorite horror films of the past decade. I love that film. I think the script for that film was just so perfect. I think you could kind of give that script to, you could hand that script to even like somebody like a studio like Blumhouse, and I think they would turn it into like a great kind of like, it won't be as good as the version we got, but they could turn it into still a great movie. That's how good that script was, and the directors just really turned it into a classic. This new film, like I know it's a bit more divisive, but I think it's really just because it's not as accessible. It's a much more ambitious movie. It feels more like an Ari Aster type of movie. So I liked it. I kind of liked it a bit more than Talk to Me, but I understand why this one isn't working as well for some people. A lot of it deals with like child abuse and all that. So that stuff's always going to be hard to stomach.
I thought it was good. The only thing was it was billed as something different. I thought it was billed as a scary fucking, turn on all the lights, hold on to your ass, you're going to jump scares and all that stuff. It was more psychological. It was more story progressing. It wasn't horrible, but I was misled, but it was still okay. But I get what you're saying. The story, yeah, but I don't. It's just even the cover. Like I thought that was like a demonic. Like I know what you're saying, and especially from the beginning. I thought the beginning was like when they show that almost like found footage. I'm like, oh shit, this is gonna be crazy. And then it actually had a story, and I'm like, what the hell? And then like, when you throw the story in, but it was pretty cool.
I mean, we're both big fans. We're all three of us are big fans of Talk to Me. I mean, we all agree that is like kind of like the great modern horror films. And these guys, they're brothers. I can't remember the Filipino or something brothers. I can't remember. But
and they turned down Street Fighter to make this movie.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And it's interesting because they are making a brand of style there, and you wouldn't think that they got their start in YouTube. There's some YouTube creators, and if you look at their YouTube channel, it's mostly kind of like pranks / bits, sketches. You don't necessarily get that horror aspect to them. So the fact that they're kind of emerging as these really great horror voices, it's interesting. And also that it's very rare for anyone who's got their start on YouTube to become like legit filmmakers. I haven't seen the movie yet, but I'll watch it. And because I do like it.
Yeah, if you see it's crazy because it's kind of like the antagonist or the quote unquote bad person in the movie. It's not like she's bad for no reason, man. It's like when you look into her backstory, you get it. It's one of those things where you're almost a little empathetic for like the main villain, I guess. It's
I wasn't necessarily sympathetic, but I felt that what they kind of did with with that character, I felt like it was kind of like pulled from the headlines in many ways, but they kind of took it like in a really dark and demented way, because we have seen kind of stories about this kind of like in the news, but not to this level. They took it to yeah.
And then you got to realize she'd already done it. And she's kind of doing it again. So it's kind of like, fuck me.
Well, were you kind of expecting, Angel? Were you kind of expecting like a Pet Cemetery type of thing, where it's more kind of be the black magic ritual kind of horror, and this was much more?
Yeah, just from the trailer, I literally thought they were like getting souls or people to get eaten by this little crazy deranged thing, and it's like it's
some of that.
Yeah, it's oh, dude, it's weird. It's kind of like it's there's a movie called Let Her Feed or something. It's with the girl from Twilight, the one that plays Alice. Like, it seemed like they would be right along the same lines, and they kind of are, except one, they overdevelop the main like lady, and the other one they kind of leave her alone. But I just it's I don't know, it's easy to follow, but it kind of seems like all of a sudden it's like we're following a story, and then it's like, okay, so now I'm supposed to believe this, and now I'm supposed to believe this. But it wasn't that bad. It was kind of like, okay, like, pull me an inch, and then I'll follow you, and then another inch. They didn't go like 10 feet, and you're like, fuck that. They slowly drag you out, and then all of a sudden I'm like, okay, now I'm believing it, because I believed the little steps, and then now I'm all the way over here, and I might as well go with it. Yeah, but I thought it was pretty cool. It was different than I thought, but still good.
Raymond, now let's get to your number one pick.
My number one pick, definitely not as divisive as my 2 and 3, but it's, I think, a pretty basic movie, pretty straightforward, but very effective in my opinion. And that's the new war film Warfare, also from A24. And Warfare, it's kind of like another one of these kind of war movies similar to like The Hurt Locker, where these war movies that kind of feel like they kind of put you there in the scenario. I feel like since The Hurt Locker came out, like most war movies are kind of like done in the way where they kind of just put you there with the characters. And I feel like of all the ones that kind of like take this approach, this might have done it the best. And I really like that you're kind of just with the characters. Like, it's all taking place in one mission. It's all in one day. So it really kind of adds to this feeling that you're just really with the characters. And I thought it was one of the most effective war films I've seen and probably the past decade or decade and a half. So while it was a very simple movie, and I think a quick like 90 minutes, if I remember correctly, I think it's the most effective movie of the year. Yeah.
Now, would you agree that it seems like the newer movies, like you were talking about Hurt Locker and this, they're more anti-war than the movies we grew up with in the 80s and 90s, where it's like, hey, let's go to war and kick everybody's ass. These ones are kind of like, you know what I mean? The shitty
definitely is, yeah.
slow part. Yeah.
I think this one definitely is, yeah. And I think you could say that's about a lot of war films that we've gone over the past decade and a half.
Dude, and I love that guy, the guy that was on Reservation Dogs, DeFaro Wunate, or whatever you say.
Oh, Raymond met him in real life.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that was weird.
Cool.
What was it? That was in a concert, right?
Yeah, he was just we were both at the concert, and
was it Wu-Tang concert?
Yeah, it was Jizza from Wu-Tang. Oh. It was near you. It was in Garden Grove.
And, damn.
Yeah, and he was there with his girlfriend. I mean, I would have talked to him longer, but it's just, I mean, music was playing, so it's so loud.
You're like, you want to go somewhere and talk?
He's a cool guy, though.
Yeah, he's an upcoming actor. He's great in Reservation Dogs, and he's the main star really in this movie, right?
Yeah.
So it's going to be a big actor. I haven't seen.
I hope so.
Warfare.
So. He deserves it.
I know. You actually, you were telling me about it a little bit, how much you liked it too.
Yeah, I like the like you're saying, it's like a slice of life kind of war movie. It's not the beginning and the end of the fucking war. It's like 3 shitty hours in this war, and it's like it's true story. At the end, they have all like the people that are in it. But I mean, you know what I mean? There's not a winner and a loser. It's just
Right.
it's fucking war as hell.
I would compare it to, just from judging by the trailer, I would compare it to Black Hawk Down, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
Like, but like if you just cut like the part with the helicopter, you know what I mean? Like if that they made a whole movie about just getting to the helicopter and fighting the guys up, because it's not a big expansive movie. It's in a
really
house.
tiny. It's really tiny.
Oh yeah.
They're just like in a room the whole time.
Oh wow. Okay. Oh.
And it's shitty, dude. It shows you the shitty part. Like you just walk up and say, "Hey, that house looks good." You go in, you make the people that own the house go sit in a fucking room, and you just take over the house. You know, that's a horrible concept. You're just having breakfast, and the army comes in and kicks you out, and you gotta hide. And then they get your house fucking blown up and shot up, and it's great. It's a good flick. It's real good.
All right, that was Raymond's list of the top 5 films so far of 2025. A lot of good picks there that I still have to watch. Is there both of you? Let me ask you this: is there anything you have watched this year that you wish more people have more eyeballs on? There's something like going under the radar that needs more recognition, more spotlight on it. Have you seen something that really kind of impressed you? Maybe not the best film of the year so far, but something that really impressed you, but no one's really talking about it. Is that something come up recently? Anyone could take that question.
I don't know about this year, dude, but like Oddity last year was so good. I don't think
Oddity. Yes, that. I still haven't. You've been recommending this movie. I still gotta watch it. I gotta watch it.
Yeah, it's good.
I think for me this year, it's like basically the ones I just mentioned. Like no one watched the Chi Kong documentary. I don't think anybody knows it exists, and I don't think a lot of people watched Warfare or Bring Her Back either.
Yeah,
and no one's gonna watch anything.
But you know what sucks? I think a lot of people went into Warfare. Like I watched Black Hawk. That's how old I am. I watched Black Hawk Down in the theater. Dude, everybody was stoked. Everybody's like, "Fuck yeah, America!" Blah blah. Let's go in there. And then you watch it, you came out, and you're like, "Fuck, that hit hard." So I think they went in the same way with Warfare. So I think it split it right down the middle. Some people were like, "Oh, that was stupid," and other people were like, "Fuck, man, that's real war. That's not an actor. That's like the real shit. Like that's everyday stuff." So I'm thinking that must have been funny. I would have just stood outside to watch people's faces before they went in and when they came out. And I mean, it's got the guy with the eyebrows, dude. That guy's amazing. Every actor in there is great, dude. In there, it's such. I can't believe you haven't seen that movie, dude. You could get that movie.
I know. I'm gonna have to watch all of these movies this weekend. Let me just say something really quick. A recommendation that I love, a movie that I love this year, and then no one's really talking about. Bob Trevino likes it. It's a comedy, a dramedy, a coming of age dramedy. John Leguizamo is the kind of the big name of it. It's about a young woman who's struggling with her relationship with her father, Bob Trevino, and she is they don't have the greatest relationship. So she tries to message him through Facebook and accidentally gets another Bob Trevino, played by John Leguizamo, and so it's this kind of misconnection. But then they form a true connection, like a real kind of mentor or father-daughter kind of like relationship. It's very sweet. It's very genuine. I liked it because it kind of really gets to kind of the way we communicate nowadays through messages, texts. I want to say it's a kind of a bittersweet movie too. It's a kind of a weeper also. But because I haven't seen a movie that kind of tackles the way we kind of communicate nowadays through message to text, and also the kind of the anxiety that when you like release, like for instance, the young girl, I'm not sure who plays her, but she's really, really good. She was from Euphoria. I can't remember. Anyway, she's really good.
Always go back to Euphoria, man.
There's a lot of great talent in Euphoria. This is another example. She puts out a because it's basically Facebook, but she puts out like a post and she waits. They show this in the movie. She waits for someone to like it or to give it a thumbs up. And I haven't really seen a movie that kind of deals with that kind of anxiety that we have when we put something out on social media and just hoping that someone, you're kind of yelling in the void and you're just hoping that someone sees it. And I think this movie is a very sweet depiction or examination of that. So I would recommend. Bob Trevino likes it. Another one, just really quick, just recently came out in 4th of July on Prime, Heads of State. It's a really cool action movie with John Cena and Idris Elba. They're playing the president, prime minister. It's stupid, but it's fun. The fun, entertaining movie. It's stupid, and they're making fun of it because he is also an action star in the movie. Is able to use that fame to get seat in the U.S. as a U.S. president, but Idris Elba, who's the U.K. prime minister, he has the real military background. They get in a situation where they're stuck behind enemy lines. There's a kind of an assassin attempt. It's from the director of Nobody, and I love Nobody. And this is kind of another continuation of that. It's kind of like a fun, goofy action movie. It's not the best of the year, of course. I don't think any of these movies, the ones I recommended, and I don't think I will rank this as some of the best in the movie, best films of the year. But I think no one's really talking about it, and I think a lot more people should be watching it because I think they will have a good time watching it.
I'm pretty sure if I pressed play, my TV would fall off the fucking wall, and walk out the door, and slam it.
Because
there's no way that movie's good.
Heads of State?
There's no way.
Trust me, it's good.
I'd rather watch the Chris Rock one, man, from the 90s.
No, you like Nobody though, right?
Love Nobody.
You'll love this one, man. You'll love it.
Is Nobody 2 the same director also?
It's the same director. I forgot his name, but
so he made this and Nobody 2 back to back.
He didn't do Nobody 2.
Oh, okay.
He did Heads of State. He did Heads of State probably. I'm sure that he couldn't possibly do both of them. Probably. I forgot who's doing Nobody 2, but trust me, it looks stupid. It is stupid, but it's fun and it's a great action. You'll like it if you have a good time. I mean, if you check your brain at the door. And it's supposed to be goofy. It's supposed to be it's like a throwback to like an action comedy from the 90s. I think that's a good way.
Rush Hour.
Yeah.
Or Top Secret.
Yeah, a little bit like Rush Hour. Yeah, a little bit like Rush Hour. I mean, look, I don't know. A lot of people. I don't know. I'll stand by it. Huh?
Shanghai Nights or something like that.
Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah,
those are great. Noon and Nights, awesome. I love those movies, dude.
Yeah, this is in that vein. This is not. It's not something to be taken serious. But if you like action and you like those guys' personality,
what was that Tommy Lee Jones? What was that Tommy Lee Jones comedy you used to like?
Man of the House.
Comedy. Yes.
Oh, yeah. I saw that the other day. That's awesome.
It's a great comedy. Yeah, it's awesome.
Like that.
I mean, the comedy, yeah, maybe, but I mean, it has more action. It is a John Wick type of action movie.
Oh,
the action in it, yeah, the action is pretty good. Action makes it a little, a cut up above the rest. I would say. I'm telling you the truth. Please give it a try.
Someone's gonna watch it, man.
Look, I know it gets a bad rap because it's the streaming original.
Well, I'm probably gonna watch it just because I loved John Cena and Idris Elba's chemistry in Suicide Squad.
Yeah,
so I'll probably just watch it for that.
Yeah, and then they have great chemistry here too. I mean, I think, and Jack Quaid is in it too, and he has a great part.
Oh, cool. Jack Quaid is great.
I pulled it up on my screen and it says 3 views.
No one's talking about it. Maybe that's one of mine. You know what? I'm gonna write one right now and put 4 views.
You watched it twice, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No one's talking about it. Everyone's just like kind of has relegated to as that. Oh, that's a streamer original. Screw that movie. But I think it's actually decent enough, and it will make. I think it's entertaining enough. Anyway, don't watch. I don't care. I had a great time.
Would you compare it to like the like Ryan Gosling movie, The Fall Guy, or something like that?
Yeah, but I think I was not a big fan of the Fall Guy. I
You
think
like
it's
Joe?
I like the Fall Guy. No, I was not a big fan of it. I like this more. How about that?
So you couldn't squeeze in Warfare, but you got in Heads of State. Okay.
Yeah, that's how.
A 90-minute Warfare, great movie. Okay, got it.
Yeah. John Cena as the U.S. president. Click.
That's like Tiny Zeus playing the president of the galaxy and what do you call it? Fifth Element, man. So realistic.
All right, so that is. Thank you, Raymond, for giving us your takes on what some movies are out right now and some movies that people should check. And if people could find you, where could they find you? You have I'm sure you have a rocking Twitter or social media.
Yeah, I have a Twitter. I haven't used it in forever though. I don't remember what the. I don't remember what the.
Is there anything people could get your reviews?
The last time I used my Twitter was like when I went to Comic-Con. I think that was like 2016.
All right, so you gotta start up another Twitter page, and then when you come over here and come on Terrortinos, you can promote it and have people talk about it. Or a letterbox. You got a letterbox account?
No, you told me to make one a long time ago.
You got to. All right. Anyway, so he's gonna go get that account, and I'm gonna go watch Warfare.
All right.
All right. Thanks, Raymond.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Thank you, Raymond, for that. So he has some really great recommendations, and look, he's my brother. He's my younger brother, so I have to trust.
Did he
him.
let you say that?
Oh, I thought you
Was
mentioned.
Was he okay with you?
We'll cut that out. Cut it out. No, I like. I think he has probably the best takes on film, better than I have. He
especially it's a younger viewpoint. He's not as warped as we are. I've realized we're done. We're set as 80s and 90s. We're never going to change the way we watch movies.
Yeah, and there's certain films that will always grab us, and that's actually a good segue because we're going to go into our other segment of defend your movie. Let's start that now.
Yeah, I told you, man, this was hard for me because it's one of those things where it's kind of like if you've never stopped liking it, it's hard to I can't see it like discerning. Like if I try to rewatch and say, hey, I'm gonna really look at it to see if this fell off or it sucks. And I'm just way too nostalgic. I put it on and all of a sudden it's over. I mean, like, dude, I tried Howard the Duck, Born in East LA. Like
all great examples.
Yeah, I know, but they were still amazing.
Yeah. No, that's fine. That's why I think you could have easily picked those movies. Now,
who's going to be against them? You know what I mean?
That's okay. That's true.
Look at Rich. He's like, I have 4,000 problems right now with both those movies.
Let me just quickly, tell people what we're talking about here. So, defend your movie is kind of like a segment where we're talking about we're each going to take a movie to the table where we're going to defend a movie that maybe hasn't aged well, or maybe never got that much love in the first place, or maybe it was critically panned and maybe people don't have much love for it. Maybe some movies that some people see as problematic, or maybe just people simply just hate the movie. But here's the catch. We don't care. We don't care. We are here to defend these movies. At least I'm going to defend my movie. No apologies. Just pure nostalgic love for it. So who want to go? Who wants to go first? You want to go, Angel? You want to go first?
It doesn't matter to me. I always go first, but I can do it.
Yeah, let me hear your.
Okay,
because
wait.
I
Let
have
me tell you.
no clue. Huh?
Yeah, we didn't tell each other. But
Yeah, I
okay,
have no
so
clue.
like, yeah, like I said, dude, I tried to watch. I tried to find something that I hadn't seen in a while that I was gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna watch it fresh. And every time I came up with something, I was like, shit, I just watched that. Or it's still that great. Okay, this is what I wrote down for what I was trying to look for. Okay. And I just like started watching trailers or watching a couple minutes. I'm like, nope. First one, okay. Remo Williams, The Adventure Begins. It's still fucking amazing. Okay, The Wraith. And I don't know why I've watched The Wraith probably this month twice. I don't know if it's because it's on Tubi and it's so familiar and I kind of watch it in the background while I work, so I don't have to pay attention. The original Pumpkinhead's great. I would Howard the Dog. Just I said maybe get some anime, Fire and Ice, Last Starfighter, Garbage Pail Kids. I couldn't find it, but I'm sure it's still amazing. He-Man was on Tubi. Kroll. So I'm like, I was trying really hard to find something that maybe lost the magic, you know? And I said, fuck it. There's nothing. They're all great. And the thing is, if I watched it then and I loved it, I remembered it. I watched it all the time. If I watched it then and I didn't like it, I stopped watching it. I won't remember it. It's off. Like your brother had mentioned, like Toxic Avenger. Love that flick, dude. Maybe that would help. But when I start watching, I'm gonna start laughing. It's just still good. So okay, with that all in mind, and it's funny because I just watched the remake. My choice is Judge Dredd, 1995.
Oh, great.
Directed, yeah, Danny Cannon. He did the I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. So I looked up some of his stuff, right? So I'm like, okay, maybe this guy just hits home runs. And no, he does a lot of TV, but he did do one movie that I loved. You guys ever seen the movie Goal, The Dream Begins? It's the soccer movie with that kid.
Oh, the soccer movie.
Dude, that movie was brilliant.
No,
but that's the only two things I can know this guy from. The director.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
He did. I think he did the sequel to I Know What You Did Last Summer too, or whatever.
Still know.
Yeah,
I still know what you did. He's done a lot of TV, dude. He's done a lot of Nikita. Tomorrow People was a great show that they just stopped.
I know he did Gotham, right? Didn't he do Gotham? Yeah,
he did Gotham.
Okay. Yeah, this is this is kind of a classic '90s comic book movie. Now, a lot of people do shit on it because it's not faithful to the comic book or the character,
and it's a British comic book too.
Yeah.
So you could even say, okay, well, they don't do the same tropes and the same kind of stuff that we do here. It's like, fish and chips and the chips to fries. You know what I mean? It's like, but I like the only thing I could say is when on the rewatch, the costumes. Okay. Yeah, I mean, when you look at them, I just saw the clip. They're over. It's a lot of like they probably got a bunch of football pads, stripped them down. You know what I mean? It's and the motorcycle is horrible, but they're all horribly amazing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And dude, I still watch it, and I don't think, oh, that's stupid, that's cheesy. I still watch it like when I was a kid, man. And like I would never, ever, ever nominate Sylvester Stallone for an award, but like he's second only to probably Schwarzenegger for like the one-liners and the shitty, like against, like he doesn't read the room, that kind of a deal. It's brilliant, and it's funny because I used to watch this one, and I used to watch the one with the seashells, Demolition Man, over and over again, dude.
This was a sweet spot for Stallone in the '90s, where he was kind of already known as the action hero, but now he's doing like some major sci-fi stuff, and it was a kind of a different stage in his career because he was like doing, this is kind of the first birth of comic movies. This is before they were like well known or loved now. The genre,
it's like
at least.
it's like this, and then Blade, movies you didn't even know were comic books unless you knew comic books.
Yeah.
But
And
like, yeah, you said he could do no wrong in that brief window. He had Assassins. He was just in movies, just killing it, dude. And they were great movies.
And I think Judge Dredd was really kind of leaning into the sci-fi stuff. I think a lot of it, the look of it, kind of reminded me of Blade Runner, because every sci-fi movie back in the 90s was like, we gotta just, copy Blade Runner. Fifth Element has a lot of Blade Runner in it. This is kind of in the same vein. I love this movie, and I know a lot of people hate this movie.
But look, it's got Barbara Hershey, Armand Assante. It's got
Amanda Sante is fucking awesome in this movie as the villain.
Yeah, he's the cliche villain,
He eats the scenery in this movie like no other. I mean, he goes, "You want to go to war? Let's go to war." And he's like actually perfect pairing with Sylvester Stallone. I mean, there's a kind of side story about how they're kind of related, but. And
there's like two sides of the coin.
Yeah, they're two sides of the coin, exactly. And you got the comic relief and from the SNL dude, Rob Schneider, Diane Lane, fucking awesome, man.
Oh, was that Diane Lane? Sorry, I said Hershey. Her name's Hershey. Oh. I said Barbara Hershey.
Yeah. But yeah, Diane Lane, and then I mean,
but it's got Van Sydow, right? Or the
Max von Sydow, he was like the main chief guy. Yeah, he was trying to help.
Guy, dude.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are, who hate this movie, and maybe a lot of it is their younger audience. And it's, like it goes against canon. He takes off his helmet. Okay, yes, we know that. But this is the 90s. It's Sylvester Stallone. He has to take off his helmet. We have to see his face. It's not going to be like that the Carl Urban Judge Dredd version.
But they even do like a fourth wall break where they're in like the transport after Judge Dredd gets arrested, and all Schneider does is go like this. You know what I mean? Like it's like Superman. Take the glasses off, and also wow, now he looks like Superman. So it's that cheesy, And
yeah,
it's so good, dude. It is good, and I love, dude. When I was a kid, that robot, the one that he gets and he reprograms, that was the coolest fucking robot in the world. And dude, you don't see anything but like a tight, like 2/3 or half shot. It's never anything, you know what I mean? There's a far shot, but I don't even know if it was a fully functioning, for the movie, but it was good. Oh, and then that was, dude, the Angel family, the
cannibals
from the prison. Yeah, the cannibals. But it was like, it's like funny, semi-serious, and then his one-liners. It's like that was the recipe the whole fucking movie, dude. It was so good. Oh,
I mean,
I
mean, one could argue that it is more a Sylvester Stallone movie than a comic book movie, and I would agree, and that's fine. I mean, like it's definitely. I know that. Look, the comic book was known for its ultra violent. This might be a PG-13 rating. I don't even remember. I doubt it was rated R. So maybe that's also another source of contention from a lot of people who thought that this was unfaithful to the source material. But it's the 90s. We were teens back then, and I don't know. I could watch this all day. I could watch this tonight. I could watch this before warfare.
You have like 90 minutes to kill, and you're like, I'm gonna go with Dredd. But this is one of those movies where there's not a part that I fast forward. It's like a no fast forward movie, even though some people will say just fast forward the whole fucking thing. But like chronologically, it's almost like it gets harder to believe as it goes on. But you're in for like you're in for a pound, you're in a penny, you're in for a pound or whatever. It's you check out at the door, and it's just a fun ride. I mean, the guns are just put plastic over regular shit. He even makes fun of the motorcycle not starting. But I get what you're saying. Like it's got the Fifth Element, the Blade Runner, where it's like we're in the future, so everything's in the sky, and the first thing they do is take you to the ground. And it's like it's always fucking wet. Have you noticed that? It's always wet. It's not raining, but it's just fucking wet, dude. it's just super shitty, and there's always like a power grid that's failing somewhere. Everybody's got power, but nobody has money or a job. It's the weirdest thing, dude. It's like the future's going to be crazy.
Yeah, and another one you probably could have picked in the same category. I mean, Tank Girl kind of is in the same vein, and there's something about those movies that those comic book movies that came out in the 90s where it's just right there in the sweet spot of just trash, culty, not to take it seriously, but also so good, so entertaining. And maybe back then, as comic book fan, I was a comic book fan back then. We kind of we're at that time we were like, oh wow, they made a Judge Dredd movie. Oh wow, they made a Tank Girl movie. We were actually appreciative about these movies. We were like, oh please, great, they did it. We were so excited.
Like the first Street Fighter movie, dude. My brother lost his fucking mind. You know what I mean? He saw it like twice in the theater, and I mean, dude, the greatest thing about that, he's a big Van Damme fan. Dude, maybe I should have picked Street Fighter, but the best thing in that is Raul Julia, man.
Oh,
that
awesome,
guy he's like Oscar caliber, dude, and he's in Street Fighter, man. It's so good, dude.
So wait, did you rewatch Judge Dredd, or did you just stumble upon this on Tubi? What was it like rewatching it?
Oh no, dude, I watched this like a month ago, but then I just did the rewatch. Like that's the thing. There's maybe like 80 movies that just live rent free in my head. And whenever I see them, I just pop them on, or I'm just sitting there. My wife, out of all the movies that I watch that she hates, this is probably the number one.
Really?
She cannot. I don't. And it's not that she hates the movie. She hates how much I like it for how not great of a movie it is. I think this one makes her wonder why she married me. I got to be honest.
Really?
It's got to be. It must be. Yeah, she can't believe it. Like if we're watching something and like, you know how you sit there and you spend 30 minutes to try to find a movie. Like once she sees it and like I'm scrolling, if she sees it even come up all the way on the right, she knows it's over. She gets up and walks away because as soon as it's on the radar, bro. But this one's hard to find. It doesn't come on a lot of platforms. I was thinking about buying it, but I think sometimes even these kind of movies, they're hard to find to buy. It's weird, but yeah, and it's funny because the remake is free everywhere. It's on like Prime, it's on Tubi, and I hated the fact that they remade it, but I love Carl Urban. I went to the movie theater to watch Pathfinder, dude. That's the Viking movie with him. Dude, I've watched everything that guy's in. I fucking love that
Even
guy.
back then, you're a big fan of.
Yes.
From dude. What? From Lord of the Rings?
Lord of the Rings, man. When he was the fucking horse, the rider of Rohan, dude. Boom. And we saw that one in the theater. All three of us. We went to like a theater out in the desert. Yeah. And I remember, dude, I'm like, this guy's badass. And then I went back and I watched all his other stuff. But it was funny because I figured that's what he looked like. But then he was in Ghost Ship. And I thought he was Brad Pitt in Ghost Ship. Like he looked just like him. But that's what I'm saying. I had to go back and find all his older stuff.
All right. Well, that was a good pick. I mean, Judge Dredd is at least for our generation, is a classic, a cult classic. And I think for a younger generation, they mock it. But you had to be there. It's definitely a movie you had to be there. And Stallone, he was the man back then.
Yeah, I was tied between this and Army of Darkness. But Army of Darkness is a cult classic. So
yeah, I think a lot of people love that movie.
Yeah. It would be hard to argue other side of that one for sure.
Let's go to, I guess, my pick.
I'm sorry, guys. Producer Rich here. I gotta interrupt you. Did you, Angel? But once you chose this movie, your favorite movie, obviously. Did you just hear in the news that they announced that?
Tiki Waka. He's planning on doing a remake. When I was looking for it, I Googled it to see what platforms, and he came up. Dude, it was so funny because that guy, I loved him from What We Do in the Shadows, the movie. And even is it the Next Goal Wins or whatever?
Yeah.
Everything he touches is fucking brilliant. Even when he did the Thor movie. but it's the whole movie. But that's what I'm saying. Everything he does is brilliant, dude. Jojo Rabbit was great. Everything this guy. So I'm stoked. Yeah, especially because the Carl Urban remake was in the middle. I'm cool because I could like compartmentalize, but it looks cool. I didn't get to see anything about like a teaser for who he's kind of thinking of putting in it or anything. I just saw.
Oh no, it's just in early talks or whatever. It's just working on a script.
Well, if he listens, I'm available. You never know.
All right, just had to ask because that's
Oh, that's how early. Yeah, I saw it last night when I was looking around.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll let you get back to
Yeah. Let's get to my pick now for the movie that I have to defend. So to keep in with the times, we just talked about Superman, which is now doing well in box office. I want to go back to the original franchise, and I'm not saying this is better than the first two. But I will defend Superman 3 right now, and I will. Superman 3, which is the one with Richard Pryor. And I gotta say, this is nostalgically hits very close to my heart, very close to my heart. This is something I used to watch all the time. And again, I want to emphasize, I don't believe that this is better than the first two movies. And I know a lot of people shit on this movie because it's much more of a comedy than an action movie. It's a straight out comedy, actually, if you think about it. There's so many gags in it. But I think even though of its many shortcomings and many problems and issues, and sometimes it doesn't necessarily a lot of the jokes don't even land. There's enough here that I would defend, and enough here I think people should really take a moment and to really appreciate what it is. It's an entertaining film for kids. It's not for adults. It's a kids movie, but there's also some really great things in it. And let me give you like a few reasons why I really dig it. Now, from your look, Angel, it seems like you hate this movie.
I don't hate it, but this goes back to what we said, that the original was the adults and the sequels were always for the kids.
Yes. Yeah.
And throwing Pryor in there was a grab. Yeah. And throwing Pryor in there was a grab. It was like, holy shit, let's make a part 3. No one's going to watch it. Let's throw in. Like, it could have been anybody at the time that was kind of hot. Like how they throw Kevin Hart into everything now.
Yes. And it's very similar to that idea. Like, we're going to throw like a comic relief, pair him up with Superman. From what I could gather is that Richard Pryor was a big fan of the original films, and he apparently he was on Johnny Carson as a guest and said something about like he loves those movies. That got the producers saying, "Oh, let's cast him for the third movie." Let me say this: he doesn't necessarily work in the film. And if you actually look back to many of his movies, he's not. I never really realize this, and maybe this is just kind of the nature of comedy, that they kind of grow old and they don't really live up to the ages and the decades. Some jokes just don't land, some performances just don't land as like they used to. I think that's true about Richard Pryor's films, because
I think all his films, he's a comedian first. He's never an actor.
Right,
yeah,
right.
And it's a very, very like, it's very what would you say, like
broad. Yeah
it's there's no way around it. It's not like, well, he's trying. No, I don't even know if he's trying.
Let me say this: one of my before I picked Superman 3, an option was The Toy, which was a Richard Pryor movie, which is extremely problematic because it's about a white boy, buying a black dude to be his toy. I rewatched that movie thinking that I was going to pick that movie. That movie doesn't fucking hold up. That movie, the jokes don't land. Now, I would say I could probably defend the controversial stuff about that film, because I think it's very conscious about the racial relationship between the boy and Richard Pryor's character. But the jokes just don't land. And that's a Richard Donner directed comedy. Here with
So
Superman,
you're saying they didn't land in the original, or they don't land now?
they don't land now.
Okay, because they landed in the original. They were hilarious in
the toy was
the original.
but the toy was. I used to watch the toy all the time. The toy was one of my favorite movies.
Yeah,
I rewatched it just last year, and I'm like, this ain't working for me. And
there are no piranha in here.
I used to quote that scene. I used to, everything. Jack. I forgot the character name, but Jack Burton. They want a Jack Burton doll, or whatever. There's so many great scenes in that movie that lives in my brain. But when I rewatched it, I got so disappointed and sad that it didn't live up to it. I don't know. When's the last time you saw the toy?
Dude, now I'm afraid to. I don't want to ruin it.
Don't ruin it.
It has to be at least 10 years, maybe longer.
Rewatching the toy, I understood why I loved it so much, because it's really just a kind of a wish fulfillment for kids, because the kid is a rich, spoiled kid, and he could get whatever he wants. And I was a young boy when I watched that movie, and so you kind of live vicariously through that character. Oh, he gets to do whatever he wants, So I understand why I love it.
Yeah, it still had that whole moral point at the end, though. All he wanted was the attention and
right
structure. Yeah,
but I couldn't pick it. I couldn't defend it because the jokes didn't land for me. Anyway, I rewatched this movie. It's similar, but the stuff that even the jokes, some of the jokes that didn't land here, I still got some entertainment from it. I still got some flashback, good vibes from it. So let me just say some of the reasons why I think people should not throw this away into the trash bin of time. I think let me just tell you about some of the visual gags that work. And it's filled with visual gags. It's like I say, this is definitely a comedy. But there's a great bit where Superman is going to change, or Clark Kent is going to change to Superman. There's no telephone booth, so he picks a phone or a photo booth. He goes into a photo booth. The shots, it goes to multiple shots. He jumps out as Superman. There's a kid right there. He's grabbing the that film strip. Superman grabs it. He looks at it, and you see the progression of him turning from Clark Kent to Superman. He tears it and just gives him the photo of just the Superman and says, "So long, kid." It's a funny, clever bit that it's not a laugh outright joke, but it's a clever bit for a Superman gag, and I really appreciate it this time around. And it's just a throwaway thing. There's another great visual gag in this movie that they do a callback in. It's the Leaning Tower of Pisa bit, and remember in Superman 3, he becomes dark Superman. He becomes evil Superman. He becomes an asshole. He becomes this jerk. And what ends up happening is like he gets a certain type of kryptonite, and the kryptonite doesn't kill him, but it makes him more human. And in this movie, it says like if he's more human, he becomes more selfish and more egotistical, and so he becomes very dark and gloomy and depressed. And part of that progression is that he just out of nowhere, he flies and turns the Leaning Tower of Pisa into just a regular tower, straight up, and in it, there's the joke is like there's a model maker, an Italian model maker, who gets pissed off because all of the models of the Leaning Tower of Pisa is worthless now. So he starts breaking it with his broom. It's like he's screaming in Italian, which is okay, a funny bit, right? But the very end of the movie, they do a callback where he's now he's back to being the good Superman. So he puts the Leaning Tower Pisa back to leaning position, and they cut to the same Italian model maker, and now because now he has the towers up and up straight, Now he's like, now he breaks it again. You know, he's pissed off. It's a funny setup. It's a funny setup. It's one of the memorable jokes or sight gags, I should say, in the film that deserves a second look. I think it's good. Is it going to win awards? No, you know. Let me get to some of the real big reasons why I think the movie works well. Smallville, Smallville, and Lana Lane, all that stuff works. And so in this movie, I don't know if there was a contract dispute, but it seems like Margot Kidder, who's playing Lois Lane, for whatever reason, she is like sent off to an assignment. She's only in the tail end or the bookends of the film. She comes in the beginning, comes at the end, so she's missing the whole time, and that sets up this space for Clark Kent to go back to Smallville and revisit Lana Lane, who is in this movie just an old friend, and not even a friend, just someone he was fascinated by, but never was that close. And she is played by Annette O'Toole. She's great in the movie. Lana Lane is fucking fantastic in the movie. The actress and the character, and I would be so bold to say that Clark Kent is a much better relationship with Lana Lane than he is with Lois Lane, or much better relationship with Lana Lane than with Lois, because Lois is, you know, Lois. Like, I love Margot Kidder, but she's a spitfire. You know, there's no taming that woman. She is, you know, career driven, but Lana, it may be the perfect match for Clark Kent. And I think the chemistry between the two characters, and particularly in this movie, really, really works.
So if they were on Love Island, you would want them to pair up. Gotcha.
I think it really works. And I think, even though I would say the first two movies, you know, there is a really touching romantic story between Lois Lane and Clark Kent. But I think Lana, it's definitely you know, I think she's a much better option. You know, if he's not going to go with Lois, she is a much better. I think they're destined to have a really great family.
So on eHarmony Superhero Edition, you don't think they would have matched? It would have been Lana that matched.
No, I think they're meant for each other. And the other tool, I mean, you know, we talked about last week or our last episode about how, you know, characters who need more spotlight. Annette O'Toole never got her spotlight.
Yeah.
She never got her due. And, you know, I know she came back in the Superman universe when she starred in Smallville as Clark Kent's mother. Not Lana, but mother. And so that's great. So there's a connection, but you know, she's really mainly known for this movie and, you know, maybe Smallville and a couple other things. But you know, if you watch this movie, you'd be surprised why she didn't become a bigger star. So Smallville works, all that stuff works. Richard Pryor, I grant you, not the best conceived character. It really, logically, it doesn't necessarily work because he's a computer genius, and the setup is like he accidentally becomes a computer genius. It's not like he kind of was born as a, you know, this brilliant mind. He's like this guy. His name is Gus. He's out of work, and he just so happens to fall into this data entry level computer crunchy number things, and he just realizes that he could, you know, hack this machine. Here's the thing, though. Later in the movie, he creates a supercomputer. And when I was watching that, I go, oh, Richard Pryor invented AI in this movie. He invents AI in this movie. So that's another reason why that this is not just a trashy film. This may have predicted the future.
But isn't that his setup in every movie? He's down on his luck. You know what I mean? That was Brewster's Million. That was the toy.
The toy. He was also out in employment line, and then he has to work as the toy staff worker, maintenance worker guy.
Typecast.
But yeah, he's typecast as that way. So I think because of that, the characters, the setup of the character is not great. But I mean, I think there's really some good moments, comedic moments in it. Like there's a bit where he's retelling a story about Superman stopping the villains' plans of because they're the whole idea of like they're taking control of the weather machine. There's also a bit at the end where he gets to fly with Superman, and there's that really quick bit that that they it's in the poster. It's like him. It's he's flying up in the air, and he's afraid of heights. There's all that kind of goofy stuff that works. The really cool stuff though, that really brings the reason why Richard Pryor kind of adds something to this franchise is that he makes Superman give him like one of those bro handshakes.
Like handshake?
Yeah, because he gives him a regular handshake, and he goes, "Thank you, brother," and he gives him one of those brother handshakes. Like it's cool. Like it's cool. That's at the end of the movie. It's like, oh shit, Superman's down. He's down with the black man. He's cool. Yeah.
He's more
he's down with
relatable.
Richard Pryor. He gets down. Okay, let me talk about the real reason, right, that you should remember this movie. And everyone talks about this. It's the Dark Superman versus Clark Kent fight. This is in the trash compactor junkyard scene, where psychologically he's not there, but he's fighting his dark. See what happens is because he was in contact with this phony kind of kryptonite. It's not really kryptonite, but it's like kind of a weird kryptonite that makes him just turn evil. That he eventually has to fight himself with a kind of an illusion of who he is. So it's really a fight over control of his identity, the good Superman or the innocent Clark Kent, the good Clark Kent, and they have to fight over the body, right? Very famous scene. It's one of the classic scenes. Christopher, we talk about how great Christopher Reeve is as an actor in the first two movies. He's so brilliant in it. And now he's kind of relegated to this kind of goofy stuff where he has to fight himself. But he does it with fucking passion. He does it with fucking with a spirit. There's a moment where he has to scream at Clark Kent. And he's fucking terrifying, man. He scares the shit out of you. And he's dark, this is him being dark. This is Dark Superman. This is evil Superman. He's an asshole. And the fight, I would argue that this fight, which is very famous, is probably the most famous scene in the whole movie. And people probably, if they do remember Superman 3, they remember this scene. And I think a lot of I think this kind of whole sequence inspired what you saw in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 3 when Peter Parker goes dark and evil. But when I was rewatching it the other day, I go, oh shit, because he's fighting this this kind of symbolic image of himself. He's not really fighting Clark Kent. He's fighting it's kind of a fight all in his mind. I realized that this is Fight Club. He just invented this is a Fight Club before a Fight Club. He is Tyler Durden. He's fighting Edward Norton. And the big reveal is like it's right there in this movie. So that's why the movie really kicks ass. This is Fight Club. This is Fight Club Superman. This is Superman Fight Club. This is Tyler Durden Superman Fight Club. This is why the movie kicks ass and takes names. My final point. And this is the real kicker. And this
so
is
if you haven't been sold so far, this is going to be it.
This is it.
He drinks.
Superman fucks in this movie. Superman's a fucking player in this movie. Superman is a fucking ladies' man in this movie. First, okay, as Clark Kent, he gets with Lana, in a romantic way, very nicely. He's not like, he's trying to have a kind of a real relationship. But when he turns dark, he's he gets really horny or whatever it is. He gets really like, and then he gets into this relationship with the mistress to the main villain. And I grant you, I can see to the point that the villains in this movie suck. And I will include Richard Pryor's character into that. But because Superman is this playboy now, and he has this really dark, I mean, there's one really sequence where he's like, oh shit, this guy is going down. Like this guy is like, he's getting seduced, but he wants to be seduced, by this femme fatale in the movie. And so I don't know, they have sex in the movie. They don't show the whole thing, but they do get down. And so I don't know, maybe there's gonna be, you could put a spin-off in that, and maybe there's a Superboy in that scene or something. But I'm saying that he is, if you're a Zack Snyder fan who likes the dark Superman, I don't think there's anyone darker than this character. He is a major player in this movie. And he's so cold too, because at the end when he wins back his identity, when the good Clark Kent wins Superman's identity again, the girl who he bangs, it goes, "Hey Clark," or "Hey Superman," and he goes, "I don't know you, lady." He kind of gives her the cold shoulder.
Oh, he goes to get the milk.
Yeah, and he goes and she's like, you can see that she's fucking hurt, and he's like, and he goes, "But we know each other," and he's like, "That wasn't me," and it's so cold. And that's the good Superman. So he's a cold son of a bitch in this movie. So
the fact that you watched this several times as a child, and these are your points for defending it, is very, very unnerving. I don't know if you should seek therapy or.
I'm just saying, a lot of people want to criticize this as like very flimsy, very kid friendly, very comic, just for kids. I'm saying there's dark stuff in this movie. Superman is dark in the movie. It might be the darkest time we ever saw him go through. Like he is extremely. He's a big fucking asshole in this movie. He's a drunk. There's a scene where he's drinking. There's a scene where he blows out the Olympic torch because he's just an asshole. He's not, for a kid. That's some really crazy shit to see for a kid, So this is not, yes, it's a comedy. Yes, it's for, it's much more kid friendly, but don't be, don't be surprised if you'd be shocked to what some of the things. Let me just say that scene right there in the photo right there we're seeing, where the girl, one of the villains becomes like the supercomputer robot. Terrifying as a kid. Terrifying. Now I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed. I was terrified by it, but it's so cool. It's only it takes only a couple seconds, but it's fine. Yeah, there you go. There's my reasons. There's my defense of Superman 3. I know it probably changed your opinion, right, Angel?
Not at all. I mean, dude, it's so funny that you knew so much to defend. I remember watching it. I mean, maybe if you told me, I could have done a rewatch, but it's none of that stuff's even on my radar from watching it as a kid. I don't think I watched it several times. I think that was the one where it just got the least play. 1 and 2 constantly,
right?
And then this one, obscurity. But I know I saw it.
Let me say this. It might be my first encounter with Richard Pryor, which is maybe sad to say. Unless I saw Toy first, because I saw Toy multiple times on TV. So maybe it was this and Toy, but these are the two kind of major movies of his that I would constantly watch. And I think a lot of the reasons why I love the movie was because I was a big fan of Richard Pryor, the comic actor, not the stand-up, because his stand-up was much too adult for me. It was only much later where I was able to listen to his stand-up. But
if I was gonna say a Richard Pryor movie that would need to be defended because at the time it was there wasn't as much PC, you know. I
Mhm.
would have went with, you ever seen See No Evil, Hear No Evil? Him and Gene
Yeah.
Wilder?
Gene Wilder, that's another one.
Yeah.
That's another one.
It's
Fantastic.
from from beginning to end, it's nonstop innuendos
Mhm.
and just all these, like, and
Mhm.
dude, I remember the part where he's got his hand in his pocket and he's pretending to have a gun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
then
it's a girl, it's a woman in the
yeah,
shower. Yeah.
and he makes her get out, she doesn't have a towel, and then he turns, and all of a sudden his hands are free, but he's still got the gun, dude. And as a kid, I remember watching, I wasn't like 5, but or maybe I was like 8 or 9. I just remember it being hilarious. I still hadn't got the full concept of what it was. But you know what I mean? It's like, dude, that stuff, especially to let a kid watch or to be a comedy, it would be like, I don't know, what would it be like now, the 40-year-old version, but 40-year-old version didn't have as much.
Right.
Go through and watch that. That was one after another. Bang, 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 bang. And the whole deaf and blind, and they played into racism and everything. Perfect, dude. But yeah, so this one to defend is crazy, starring him.
No, I could have. I think I would imagine a lot more people love Hear No Evil Speak, or was it Hear No Evil Speak No
You know,
Evil?
over here,
No,
no evil. Yeah.
Hear No
In
Evil.
here.
Yeah, I imagine the people still have a much more fondness. I mean, I have actively heard people just hate shit this movie.
Yeah.
We just had a critic on, Raymond, who just destroyed. He hates this movie with a passion. Superman 3. And I tried to tell him like these points, and he's just like, "No, man, you're crazy."
I know they're points to you.
I'm telling you,
A lot of people, they're just, it's like we were talking about Street Fighter. Like the day, blah 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 came into your village was the greatest day of your life, but to me, it was Tuesday. So it's huge to you, but maybe.
I think there's plenty of people out there who believe in what I believe, that yes, I want a Superman that fucks. I want a Superman who's a playboy. I like Dark Superman. And, well, here's the thing about Dark Superman.
Bang and then be an asshole to the chick.
Well, here's the thing about Dark Superman. He eventually gets conquered. So it ultimately proves that the real Superman is the innocent, goodness, kind one. So I mean, it just kind of reinforces that idea.
Goodness prevails.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think I hope there's more people like me out there. Or maybe not, I don't know. Also like Grease 2. Remember that? I told you about that. I could have easily picked that one too, but I'm a big Grease 2 fan. Even more so than the original, which is sad to say.
See, people, you can say you're a fan, but then once you throw more than, then that's when you lose people.
Well, maybe very similar to Superman 3. Grease 2 was also very much on the rotation of television play, and that I would watch all the time. So both movies I would watch constantly, perhaps even more so than number 1 and 2. I don't know, but it's up there. It's up there. And like I said from the beginning of this argument, or this defense actually, was that I can see to the notion that the first two are tremendously better than this third one. But this is not something you should, toss. Appreciate it for what it is. Thank you. The defense rest. Thank you for everyone. All right, so that's it for defend your movie, and maybe we'll keep that up. It's maybe something we get back if we pick two more movies to talk about. Because
I think we should tell each other though.
Oh, great! Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah.
We could do that too.
Because I could have used a rewatch. I'm sure I would not have sided with you, but you know what I mean. I would have a better grasp of what you're trying to accomplish with your ridiculousness.
All right, that's it for this episode of Terrortinos. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We're on YouTube. We're now on podcast form. You can hear us in any major platforms, including YouTube, but any major podcast platforms. Yeah. So if you like this episode, like and subscribe, tell a friend, all that stuff, all those bits that you need. We love getting together and talk about this type of stuff. I love talking about Superman 3, and I will defend it for the end of my days. And Angel will, defend Judge Dredd.
It's just that you rewatched that and didn't watch Warfare. That's what's weird.
I'm gonna watch a lot of movies this week.
What about, okay, so we're on YouTube. So YouTube you can leave comments. We should start doing things where if we get our viewer singular, and somebody like has a movie that like people sleep on, give us a movie to watch. And
sure. We'll take suggestions.
Yeah, test us. Go, hey, I don't know if I always agree with these guys. There's a movie that I either like or don't like. Throw it out there. We watch it. We'll give you our honest opinion. I mean, it's not gonna. It probably won't match perfectly, but.
And all those fans of Superman 3, please leave a comment and prove my point that you are out there, and you love this movie. You love the sight gags. You love all that stuff. You love Dark Superman. Please leave your comment. Please prove me right and prove Angel wrong.
I don't hate it. It's just it's not very defendable.
Okay. All right, everyone. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We'll be back.
Thanks, Producer Rich.
Thanks, everyone did a great job. Thank you for Ray to coming in with his take. I love when he comes in. He has really great things to say. He's much better than us.
Yeah,
sadly.
very.
He's very precise with his words.
He brings a level of sophistication and professionalism that we just can't do.
That's why we have to destroy him and crush him.
That's why we get him first to sucker people into watching, and then throw his ass to the side and get into the nitty-gritty.
So have a safe weekend, everyone. Be kind to each other, and bye-bye.
Later, guys.